Another loaded show coming your way on today's San Francisco 49ers Report by Chat Sports. I'm Chase Sr. No matter where you are, how you're tuned in, as always, we appreciate you for making today's show a part of your day. And on the docket, San Francisco signing a defensive lineman, and a 49ers reserve offensive lineman is out for the year. We'll get to that, but first, we start with Jason Verrett. Is he going to come back to the San Francisco 49ers? He worked out with San Francisco on this Thursday at the practice facility in Santa Clara. He was recently let go by the Houston Texans practice squad, and I do think that that's notable. D'Amico Ryans is there. He brought a couple of Niners assistants with him to H-Town. They're having a great year. C.J. Stroud is in the MVP conversation, and I imagine that the Niners front office brass has spoken with that coaching staff or that front office to kind of gauge where Jason Verrett is. 32 years old right now. It's pretty wild. He was drafted all the way back in 2014. First-round pick by the Chargers coming out of TCU. Really good player when he's been able to stay healthy. Unfortunately for him, he's been snake-bitten time and time again with a lot of injuries. And with the Niners, they signed him as kind of a reclamation project, buy low, get a good asset who could play well. And in 2019, didn't play at all. He's once again injured. In 2020, played at a really, really high level. We're talking Pro Bowl caliber level, and 13 games under his belt in 2020. But then tore his ACL in 2021, first game of the year on the road against the Detroit Lions. And then last year, coming off that torn ACL, he popped his Achilles. So at this point, he thinks that he has some gas left in the tank. The Niners think that potentially as well, bringing him in for a workout. We know that the secondary is a little bit thin, and they probably want to gauge if he's able to help this team coming down this stretch run in the regular season. Now, this is why you subscribe to the show. Anytime there's something developing out there, like a potential signing like this, we talk about it. But also, we'll be live for our Niners-Buccaneers watch party on Sunday. Do not miss it. We're giving away another autographed jersey, raffle items to get to, live play-by-play audience interaction, and the best place to experience game day outside of being at the game. We'll be live within our pregame show with our coverage beginning at 3:05 p.m. Eastern. As for that offensive lineman out for the year, that is going to be Nick Zakelj. Suffered a torn biceps last Sunday against the Jaguars. He played 6 special team snaps in that game, and he had to undergo season-ending surgery. Right now, especially along the interior of this Niners offensive line, they have been hit hard with injuries. Zakelj as a backup, Aaron Banks out a couple of games with that turf toe injury, and the Niners really like the player. This is why Zakelj did crack that 53-man roster. They took him in the 6th round of the 2022 NFL Draft out of Fordham. And he's a offensive lineman with some upside in their eyes, with some really solid measurables, 6'6", about 387 pounds. And of note, with him going down and being out for the rest of the year, by the way, not a $187, I'm 180 pounds. I'd be a mean offensive lineman at like the middle school level, right? Obviously, that's a little bit too small, so don't mind the note. Of note, though, San Francisco has a roster spot open here. So they could look to fulfill that roster spot with Zakelj being out for the year, season-ending IR. A couple of replacements that the Niners could bring in along the interior offensive line, and they could look to elevate from the practice squad to the active roster. Il Manning is a player who the Niners got back after the Arizona Cardinals released him off their active roster originally. Arizona poached Il Manning off the Niners practice squad. The rookie out of Hawaii had a very good training camp in preseason with the Niners. Corey Luciano, you could elevate him. You could bring in a guy like Jesse Davis, Henry Bird, and elevate them to the 53-man roster. More offensive line notes here. No setbacks for Trent Williams in that game against Jacksonville, but also this week. Looks as though he's going to be able to start for the second consecutive game coming off that ankle injury, which forced him to miss the Vikings and Bengals games going into the bye week. Colton McKivitz practiced on back-to-back days on Wednesday and Thursday. He's trending upward and looks as though he's going to be able to start at right tackle on Sunday. Aaron Banks remains out, and in his place, John Feliciano will start again. The highest grade for an offensive guard this year, Feliciano is able to put up in that dub against the Jags. And Offensive line continues to be a concern for this football club. According to Pro Football Focus's offensive line rankings, there are 32 teams in the NFL. San Francisco, their overall unit, checking in at 24th, and the Niners rank 19th in pass blocking efficiency. I think that could be something that unglues this offense. If they make a playoff run, going up against some of the top-tier defenses in this conference, or if they make it to the Super Bowl and you kind of hold your breath anytime that Brock Purdy drops back because you're pinpointing and focusing in with the microscope as to what happens at right guard and right tackle because they've been so bad and unproductive at those positions this year. So what say you? Will the Niners' offensive line end up costing this team this year? Biggest weakness on the club, no doubt. Even more so than the secondary. Y for yes or N for no? That is today's poll question. So make sure you go on down and let us know how you're feeling. A lot more to get to here on the show, including Spencer Waege coming back to San Francisco. But first, today's Niners Report is sponsored by Marine Layer. You've seen me wear some of their fancy shirts before. That's San Francisco-based Marine Layer as well. Now I'm wearing some of their athletic wear. Very comfortable, very durable, looks good. The ladies tell me that my eyes look really good when I'm rocking some baby blue. That's why I like to wear this shirt here. And you can get 15% off at marinelayer.com/chatsports and use the code chatsports. They have clothing items for you to wear out to a date. If you're hitting some bars with some homies, you've seen me wear this fancy sweater type of shirt here on the show, but they also have that relaxed wear, golf shirts, some golf shorts as well, some athletic shorts. They have everything to really spark up your wardrobe. So head to marinelayer.com/chatsports. Find your new favorite fits with the San Francisco-based Marine Layer today. Next up on the show, Niners signing a defensive lineman. Spencer Waege is back, and the Niners releasing Austin Bryant. Spencer Wage's agency did announce this news on Wednesday. Didn't get an opportunity to break it down because I was doing some NBA coverage here at Chat Sports, but it is worthy of some discussion here on the show, and I like to talk about the Niners. I get paid to do so, so we're going to talk about this here on the program. Why did the Niners make this move? Well, you think about it from this sense. A few weeks ago, they traded for Randy Gregory. He's a defensive end. Then they traded for Chase Young. He too, defensive end edge rusher. So I think San Francisco here wanted to bulk up the interior defensive line, and they're able to do that with a young player that they believe in who has some potential and familiarity with this Niners defensive scheme. And Larry Krueger, who I've been joining every Friday on his YouTube channel, by the way, did an interview with Waege in the Niners locker room in Santa Clara and said that Waege told him he'd been working out at the farm, waiting for a call after the Niners released him in August when he did not make the final 53-man roster. He wasn't sure if that call was going to come in a day, a week, a month, a couple of months. San Francisco hits him up middle of November. They bring him back. Pretty cool story there. Can you imagine going from working on the farm to then joining the Niners practice squad with maybe an opportunity here to join the active roster at some point? Waege signed with San Francisco originally as a UDFA out of North Dakota State, a football powerhouse at the FCS level, waived by the Niners on August 27th of 2023, but had a very solid training camp and preseason. I like his size. Might need to add a little bit of weight playing defensive tackle at this level. He is 6'5", though, 295 pounds. Spent 5 years at the college level, 2017 to 2022. A lot of experience, too, playing for the Bison, 57 games, 29 starts. In those 57 games, he racked up 138 tackles, 42 tackles for loss, 20.5 sacks. I also like his ability to bat balls down at the line of scrimmage. Has some good instincts there, and with all of these digits that he put up playing at that level, he was a two-time FCS All-American. So a developmental project making his way back to the Bay Area. Niners release Austin Bryant. They bring back Spencer Waege because they want to bulk up defensive tackle as far as developmental projects, but also overall depth on this team. And I think there's something to be said for this too as we round out this discussion. Everybody looks and differentiates the 53-man roster and the practice squad. This is how organizations look at it. They look at it as one big roster here. You have the 53 and you have the practice squad. But the practice squad is practicing with the 53-man roster. So this is a collective football club, and now Spencer Waege is a part of it. Another reminder, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Last week, we did surpass 100,000 subscribers, and we're going to continue to build on that during our Niners-Buccaneers watch party live an hour before kickoff, 3:05 p.m. Eastern. Hope to see you.